Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm coming at you with a review. No strings attached, no big headlines. To me, these are 10 fantastic fragrances. I've spoke about a good few of these. I've done separate reviews on a lot of these, but I've put a list together and I could have done 30, 40 fragrances, but ain't nobody got time for that. So I've done 10 great fragrances. Stay tuned to find out about these scents. What is good, YouTube? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. My name is Mikey Cologne, and if you're tuned in, as always, thank you very much for doing so. If you're new here and you're stopping by for the first time, thanks to you lot as well. That is right, today I've got 10 great fragrances. Some of these are long lasting, but they're all in their own right deserve a spot on this list. I've put a couple of simple minimalistic fragrances in because I know some people don't want to smell of too much, so to speak. Some people definitely don't want to choke other people out. So I'm going to start off with a simplistic fragrance. It is coming from the house of eccentric molecules, and it is Molecule 04. I love the way this smells. Molecule 01 is ISOE Super, and it took a while for me to even detect that fragrance. Once I did, I loved the way it smelled. But Molecule 04, I could smell this straight away. They are using one synthetic molecule, and it is called Javanol. And Javanol is meant, or it does come across smelling like sandalwood. And that is what you get from this fragrance. It opens warm, a little bit spicy, obviously it's woodsy, but it turns creamy, and you also get little powdery touches from this. And that is it. That is all you get. But just the way it comes across, it is simplistic, but man, to me, this smells great. It definitely deserves a spot on this list. And this on me is not beastly, but it pushes it. It pushes. When I first started wearing it and I noticed it straight away, I could smell it lingering in the air, but the more I've worn it, it was like the Molecule 01. Whereas that I couldn't smell straight away, then after a good few wearings I could smell this straight away, but as I've worn it, it's got stronger, or my nose is adapted to it more and it can pick it up even better. And when I spray this on my arms, around my neck, it lingers all day and I get wafts of it. And the way it comes across, to me, it smells fantastic. So like I say, and this is in no particular order. I love all these fragrances. But anyway, coming in first, it is Molecule 04 from the house of eccentric molecules. Up next, we have a freshie. It is Whetstone from Amarud. What a stunner this is. I mean, and look at the presentation of that bottle. All the bottles, they've got the White Woods collection, and I can't remember what the black bottles are called. But so you have, in the White Woods collection, you've got all white bottles. In the black, I can't remember the name of it, you get all black bottles. All the bottles look the same, but you've got obviously the different names on the front of the plaque, so to speak. They look great on a shelf. Yes, this has got great presentation, but the juice inside, it's even better. Right, and the atomizers on these are beastly. Look, they just give out so much juice and the pressure behind it. Right, you've got sea salt, lemon, bergamot, mineral notes, ginger, sage, cardamom, ambergris, vetiver, oud, cedar, patchouli, and Whetstone Accord. This opens up bright. You get the citrus straight away. It's fresh, it's clean. You get a little bit of zing from the ginger, and you get the sea salt along with the ambergris, because this fragrance definitely has a salty side to it. It has an aromatic side to it from the sage. It has a marine aquatic side to it from the ambergris and the sea salt and the mineral notes. It's literally like you're down by the beach and you stand in next to the sea and the breeze is blowing and you get a whiff of that salty sea air. That is what you get from this fragrance. It does have a woodsy backbone. You do get loads of cedar. It's fresh, woodsy, aromatic, citrusy, very clean, and it smells great. There is no doubt about it. If you've not tried this fragrance, try and get yourself a sample of Whetstone, because I know summer's nearly over, but to me, you can wear freshies all year round. They're like pick-me-ups on a colder day. If it's a little bit doom and gloom outside and you don't want to wear something too heavy, you can wear a citrus. And you can easily rock this all year round. And get yourself a sample. Try it. If you do, report back to me. And I'm telling you, I think you're going to enjoy it. But anyway, that is Whetstone from the House of Amarud. When I do lists, sometimes I put this fragrance in them lists. And I'm going to pipe on about this until everybody has tried it. It is called Remember Me from the House of Javoy. This is a creamy, vanillic, sexy fragrance. Unisex, and the presentation on these is definitely a plus. But let me spray it and then I'll read you the notes. This is a great scent. If you haven't tried this, please, I beg of you, get a sample because it's great. Right, you've got cardamom, bergamot, lemon, frangipani, ginger, tea, vanilla. God, I can smell it in the air. Cedar wood, wood and milk. The citrus and the cardamom add this freshness up top, which is needed in this fragrance. So it's spicy, ever so slightly citrusy, very lightly citrusy, and you're greeted with the vanilla straight away. Once this starts drying down, the frangipani comes in, the fragrance starts turning creamy, you get the milk, so it's a little bit lactonic. The woods start coming through in the mid, but then when you get into the base, the woods just amp up a little bit. So it's got sort of a woodsy base on it, and then it's creamy, lactonic, vanillic, sweet, warm, and the spice once you get into the mid, the spice is leveled out. But this is a great scent. Unisex, has a sexy edge to it. If I was to wear this, it'd be a date night, there's no doubt about it. Or if you're chilling in with your other half and you're chilling out, watching a movie and it's just you twos on your own, this will get you some company. I'm telling you, it is a great fragrance, and that is Remember Me from the House of Javoy. Sample it. This one that I want to talk to you about next is a Vetiver fragrance, and I have plenty of Vetiver fragrances, and the reason why I chose this one is because it is like its rawest form and it goes through so many changes Vetiver wise. It's from the House of Paris Monte Carlo, and it is Vetiver Java. You have to appreciate Vetiver in every single way it comes across to enjoy this fragrance. It's strong. It's loud when it first opens up. Right, you've got Calabrian bergamot, Timar pepper, Vetiver Java, geranium absolute, amber and musk. God, it fills the air. The bergamot you get in a very small dose on that initial blast. Very small dose of bergamot, but you're greeted with the Vetiver straight away. It's sharp, it's spicy, it's smoky, it's quite heavy on the smoke actually when this first opens up. Once the opening settles down, the Vetiver starts going through changes. It goes a little bit damp, earthy, rooty. It is raw. It's like the rawest form of Vetiver. The geranium absolute adds this earthy, rosy facet that comes in just round the edges, and that amber adds an ever so slight bit of sweetness into the fragrance and a teeny tiny touch of warmth in the base. This does have musky edges, but you have to enjoy Vetiver, and I love Vetiver. And that is the reason why I chose this, because it changes, it goes through phases. It's a great fragrance. But if you don't enjoy Vetiver, stay clear from this, because this is smoky, earthy, rooty. Like I say, it's rawest form. And that is Vetiver Java. Great fragrance. Soul Boutique from the House of Moresque. Sexy amber. Damn, this does smell very, very nice. This is straight up date night, this fragrance. Let me spray it and then we'll go through the notes. This is, I wouldn't say it's a simple fragrance, but it's not very complex. This doesn't have a big note breakdown, but it's very effective. Great atomizer. Right, you got cardamom, bergamot, frankincense, geranium, pink pepper, vanilla, amber and patchouli. The way that spicy cardamom mixes in with that amber, you get that amber straight away. It's a little balsamic, it's a little bit sticky, it's sweet. So the bergamot, it's there, then it's gone. You literally only get that for a couple of seconds and then that just fades away, and then it's about the spicy cardamom. It warms up as it dries down. You get the vanilla, the pepper comes in, and the pepper, to me, this is more about the cardamom. You do get the pepper, a little bit of that spicy pepper, but the cardamom overshadows the pepper. And then you get vanillic touches, the amber, the patchouli. It goes very slightly earthy on the dry down. The frankincense just runs through the fragrance. It darkens it up a little bit, the incense does in this. This is a very effective fragrance. And to me, this is unisex. So obviously men and women can wear this. If you want a sexy date night fragrance, grab yourself some of this. Or if you're going out on the pool and you want to smell attractive, grab yourself some of this. It's not the longest lasting fragrance. You will have to overspray. I reckon 5 sprays, you'll leave a little trail, but 8 sprays, then you are definitely good to go, because it's one of them fragrances that it projects moderate for about an hour and then it starts raining in. So an extra few sprays and make it last a little bit longer. Spray on your clothes, spray on your wrists, spray everywhere with it. Man, this is sexy. It really is. And that is Soul Boutique from the House of Moresque. If you're in the market for a green, fresh fragrance, look no further, my fellow frag heads. I got your back. Iris de Gris from the House of L'Artisan Parfumeur. What a stunner this is. Perfume or perfumer, Quinton Biche, say no more. He does some great work and he's done fantastic work with this fragrance. It just smells so good. This has a pea accord in it. And you would think, who wants to smell like a pea or a pea pod? Nah, it's more than that. Trust me. Let me just spray it. Oh, this is great. Right, you've got pea accord, iris, galbanum, mint, blood orange, ambroxan, musk. Oh, it opens green, sharp, powdery, earthy, and I think that earthy facet's coming from the iris and the pea accord. It's just got like this rooty, sort of vegetal side to it, and it's not dense, but it's hard to explain. It's like the roots of the iris or the orris plus the pea pod, blending them in together. So vegetal, earthy, a little bit sweet, plus it's powdery. Once the opening calms down, the galbanum comes through, and the galbanum's not screechy, but it's a little bit piercing. Like, it gives this fragrance that extra oomph in the green side of things. You got the mint, green, plus it adds loads of freshness up top. The blood orange adds a little bit of zest once the fragrance starts drying down. This does have musky edges from the get-go, but This goes more musky as it dries down on my skin. So it starts out a little bit musky, and then as it dries down, the musk just amps up a little bit. It never gets too heavy, but it does turn up on my skin. That might just be how it reacts to my skin, but that musk definitely amps up in this fragrance. And the ambroxan just pushes it a little bit, gives it a little bit of a woodsiness. Fantastic scent. I am so glad to have this in my collection. It was a blind buy. I'm so glad that it paid off, because sometimes blind buys do not pay off. This one did. When this runs out, there is no doubt about it, this will always be in my collection. I love it that much. And that is Iris de Gris from the House of l'Artisan Parfumeur. Stunning fragrance. It really is a gem. Did someone say fig fragrance? I think I heard you right. If by RK and Frapping. Great scent. Look at the presentation as well. Look. Stunning looking bottle. The juice is stunning as well. Pressurised atomizer on this bottle. Look. Right, you got pepper, Italian bergamot, Madagascan ginger, fig milk, cashmere wood, cinnamon, Indonesian patchouli, Mysore sandalwood and Gaiac wood. Fresh, soft, spicy up top. You get a little bit of zing from the ginger, but then in comes the fig. You get the fig from the get-go. After a few minutes, that opening calms down, the spice levels out a little bit. It's still spicy, but it's very soft on the spice. And then the fragrance starts turning creamy. It turns woodsy. That Mysore sandalwood is mixing in with the fig. You've got the cashmere wood and the Gaiac wood, giving it a strong woodsy backbone. You've got the Indonesian patchouli that adds a little bit of warmth and sweetness into the base. This is a great fig fragrance. Plus, you get a little bit of a fruity facet with it coming from the fig. So it's woodsy, creamy, slightly fruity, soft, spicy, semi-sweet. Seduction in a bottle. This is another great date night scent. Or if you're going to a gathering and it's colder outside, man, this is very attractive. Plus, it's unisex. And that is If by RK from the House of Frapping. I have quite a lot of Iris-based fragrances in my collection, or Oris. And this is one of my favourite. There's no doubt about it. It is coming from the House of Aaron Terence Hughes. You already know what it is. It is on. What a stunner this is. This is an Iris fragrance done right. Lovely presentation. Look, you got his logo on the top. Oh, crystals in the cap. 50ml bottle. Extract the parfum. Right, we all know that Dior has great atomizers. Watch this. Look at that. Look at, you can control it. That is a beautiful atomizer. And the way this smells. Right, you've got Oris Concrete up top, amber, tonka bean, vanilla, sandalwood, cedarwood and white musk. It opens waxy, a little oily, semi-sweet. Once that opening calms down a little bit, the amber and the tonka come in and it warms the fragrance up. They add a little bit more sweetness. The sandalwood creeps in and it turns creamy. You get a little bit of a woodsy backbone with it. You get vanillic touches. In the dry down, it does go a little bit powdery on my skin. And the musk just wraps everything perfectly. I want to say it again. This is an Iris or Oris fragrance done right. It is unisex. It is great for date nights. It is great for weddings if you're going out. I've worn this in the summer of an evening. If you're eating out or drinking out and you're going to be outside, when the wind picks this up and you get wafts of it, it smells great. I just love it. I really do. And that is on from the House of Aaron Terence Hughes. I had to put a boozy fragrance on this list. And it is coming from the House of Pharmacia SS Annunziata. I think I butchered that. It is called Whiskey Nobel. What a stunner this is. If you like dark boozy fragrances, you're going to love this. Wait until you hear the note breakdown. Let me just spray this bad boy. Right, you got incense, Arabic coffee, orange flower or orange blossom, whiskey, bitter cocoa powder, styrax, oud, vetiver, leather, saffron and vanilla. Straight away, booze. You get, right, it opens up smoky, woodsy, boozy, a little bit dark. It has a little bit of a bitter edge to it. And that is coming from the coffee, I think, and that cocoa powder. And the coffee comes across a little bit roasted here, but it's sitting way in the back. You can detect it straight away. But once that opening calms down, the coffee fades down a little bit. The orange blossom gives this a little bit of a dirty edge. Once you get into the mid, the woods amp up, the oud comes in, and the oud here is not skanky. It's not barnyardy. It just adds this depth, this darkness, and this very strong woodsy backbone. The leather and the suede are in now at this time, so it's very, like, I would say it's not rough leather, but it's quite dark, because saffron can give off a leather nuance, and plus you've got the leather accord in here as well. Plus this does go a little bit spicy, and then it dries down more, and then you get vanillic touches. The styrax comes in, so they add sweetness into the fragrance. It is a complex scent, but it's great. It really is. Let me turn it around the right way. It is great. To sum it up, I would say smoky, woodsy, boozy, slightly sweet, very woodsy. That is how I'd sum this fragrance up. And if you like the sound of that, get your paws on this, sample it first, and then see what you think. Anyway, that is Whiskey Nobel. I started with a simplistic fragrance, and I'm ending a review with one. This is I Don't Know What from the House of DS in Durga. This is an instant, or was an instant love for me. When I first smelt this on sample, I was like, yeah, and then I got it in, and I love it. Right, this is a fragrance that works with your body chemistry. This has all molecule accords in it, so to speak. Right, you've got bergamot essence, isoe super, vetiver acetate, civetone, phesantal, and ambrox super. All these are molecules that are put into all different fragrances, and they all have different jobs to do. Like phesantal, I believe, is meant to come across smelling like sandalwood. Vetiver acetate, vetiver, isoe super, you've got that ambrox super, which comes across woodsy, a little bit musky. And this fragrance starts out, you get the bergamot up top, but it's just very fresh, a little bit citric, clean, and a little bit woodsy. After a few minutes, the isoe super does come in. I do get like pencil shavings coming from that phesantal. It does have a musky side to this fragrance. So to me, that's the civetone mixing in with the ambrox super. Plus the ambrox super helps out on the woodsy side of things. So it's woodsy, clean, very fresh. And like I say, this will react different to everybody's body chemistry. On me, it's so smooth. It projects for the first hour and a half, and I think it's a skin scent by about 4th hour. But then I get wafts of it 5, 6 hours in, especially if I'm outside and the breeze is blowing. I'll just pick it up every now and again, and the way it comes across, it is a love. Plus, I also forgot to mention that this is used for layering. So you can put a fragrance on, and I believe you spray this one over the top, and it helps fix the fragrance to the skin for longer. Plus, it puts a little twist on the scent that you've sprayed on first. So you can mix it up a little bit. You can wear it on its own, or you can use it as a layering tool, so to speak. So how would I sum it up? Fresh, clean, a little bit citric, woodsy, slightly spicy and musky. And that is I Don't Know What from the House of DS in Durga. Right people, that is 10 great fragrances. All of these are loves of mine, and I would love to hear your thoughts to see which ones you own, what ones you want to try. Drop a comment down below and I will definitely get back to you. And remember people, smelling good's always a pleasure and never a chore. And I'll definitely see you lot on the next one. Cheers.